Thank you, Isabel. That really concludes the formal presentation as it relates to our campus-wide discussions. What I'm going to do now is I'd like to invite Tommy Bauer, student body president, to share his remarks.
Thank you, Cedric, and thank you, everybody, from the administration down to the students who came out today. What I'm here to talk to you about is, what does this mean to a student? Obviously, we've broken down the figures and numbers, but in terms of the everyday things that you see on campus, what will this mean to you? So, at an institutional level, I'm going to break it down at an institutional level and a personal level. At an institutional level, this may mean that your tuition costs could potentially go up if strategies such as this, or even worse, could be adopted after the legislative session concludes in May and April. So with tuition costs, currently they're capped at 7%. They're really at the whim of the legislature. So that 7% cap could be withdrawn, and we could see tuition as high as maybe 10 or 15%, depending on how well the budget situation looks in May or April when the session starts to conclude. Currently, it's at around $5.5 billion. But as we know, the Washington State, the majority of our funding comes from sales tax revenues. And when people don't spend, there is lost revenue there, and thus our deficit may continue to grow. In terms of financial aid, which I know a lot of our students here depend upon through Pell Grants, through financial aid through the school, and other means of that way, those are more than likely going to be affected by this. We have administration here on campus who seek community help from local businesses to fulfill the scholarships that many of us do depend on to come to school. Those may decrease, and those barrels filled with cash that we give out to students for scholarships may sort of dry up. In terms of class sizes, which I know many of here at this institution sort of look at for the success in our classes. One thing that I notice is that our class sizes is what I feel as our biggest selling point here on campus. Here at the University of Washington Tacoma, you can come to a public school at a University of Washington tier education with a class size of around 26. Whereas at a Seattle campus, you may see class sizes as high as 100 or 200, maybe even 300 in lecture halls, depending upon what it is you are studying. So I think that is one of our biggest selling points here at this university, and that may be affected by that. As Dr. Rushing noted, class sizes may go up, and class sizes that were traditionally around 26 could go as high up as 30 or 40, depending upon the class and whatnot, or also depending upon how things look down in the legislature. To go on, also when you look at class sizes go up, you also see the quality of education here at the institution affected. What I mean by that is with a class size of 50 as opposed to 26, you may see less papers being assigned, and you may just see a multiple choice test being assigned. I know from a student that makes it easy to study for. However, the quality of the degree that you are getting from the institution may decline as a result of that. In addition, some of the facilities that we as students depend upon most in terms of the access in terms of where we study and the buildings that we study at, those operational hours could decline. So your opportunity to study here on campus could potentially be affected by that. In addition, services such as the CTLT building, which offers tutoring for science classes and math classes and things of that matter, and writing, things that students depend upon on an everyday basis, could be affected by this. And what I mean by affected is you may see those hours go from their current stage of maybe 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. They could decrease, to a potential, I don't know, just to throw something out, maybe like a 12 to 5. So your opportunity to access those services after you get off work could be affected. In addition, we look at other facility accesses that we use on a consistent basis. We look at the library. The library is a resource that many of us students depend upon on a daily basis. To access books, to get help on our resources and researching. Those could potentially affect it. Early on during the year, we were looking at expanding the library hours to accommodate the increasing FTE or full time to accommodate the increased number of students here on campus. Now we're looking at consolidating those hours. In addition, we're also looking at potential decreases in majors being offered. Obviously, if you don't have the staff and faculty here to teach the classes, that you need to graduate in the major that you're looking at, those majors will be affected. Currently, to give an example, the IS department has 2 political economy vacancies that have just been vacated over the past couple of years. Right now, those positions to fill those positions have been frozen. So you will not see a political economist here is what I'm saying. So if you're a political economy major in the IS program, the opportunity for you to take the classes that you need to get the most out of your degree may be limited, and you may have to seek other sources to find those.